will you behave? Guys got a show to do. Oh, hello. Hey, what's going on? Welcome to the Sunday Night Hang. I'm your host, Ben, and you're not. Sure, let's go with that. If you're tuning in for the first time, please subscribe. You'll regret it later. If you're returning, see, regret, right? Tonight, he knows regret. The guy's been watching for years to the point where the first time I stumbled across his channel, I'm like, oh, he's live. And I tuned in, and I say it with all the respect in the world and love in the world. It was like watching some Eastern European knockoff of Canucks with Guitars, like where they just sell the rights. Because I tune in and there's two dudes and they got gear and they're all excited and they're looking at their phones, reading the chat. And I was like, this is Richie and me 3-4 years ago. I'm like, this is my new favorite show on YouTube. I love this. So thanks, welcome, Martin of L&M Guitar Corner, featuring Martin because Lucas is asleep. So welcome, buddy.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks for having me. It's a great honor to be on your show.
Oh, This has been years in the making. We've been threatening to do this with each other for years, I swear.
Yeah, and I've seen a question in the chat. No, Lucas is not my brother. He's my brother from another mother, as you call it. So,
I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. Yes, we already have 32 people in here, so I'm going to get to roll call. Let's see. We have Rhodey's Jan Cave, Leo Sofko, Lawrence Cash, Zach Thong. Now I have to scroll. See, they were all going. Keith Campbell, Billy Baloney, Terry's 3Gs, moderator to the stars, and me, and also co-host of Canucks with Guitars. John Duchesne is here. Papa Blue, Janice Lala, Dave the Pious. Don't call me a Prius. Sorry, Dave. Guitar Man 45, Leo Sofko. Let's see. Brad Guitar Miller. Thomas Santiago. Oh, 2 in a row. House of Twang. Not everybody gets a thing, but some do. We'll see. Hey, next Sunday's guest, Hip Metalworks, in the chat. He was on, what was that? The Million View Hangout. See, a little blurry. And I thought, hey, we should do a dedicated hang. He's like, really? I said, yeah. And again, he went, really? Yeah. So, all right. So that's next week. Yeah. Let's see. Who else do we have in here? We don't want to forget. JP Page 2 is here, as always. 10 Solo Music. What's up, Emery? Mohogany. BC Rich 581. Mark Effects. Jack Collins. He's tuning in while working on his hot rod. Awesome. Pre-gamers. Terry already with the links up there. See? Yeah.
Thanks, Terry.
Check it out. Joe Hervey's here. What's up, Kid Shred? Kunar is here.
Nice. He's also having a late night.
He is. He's also in Austria, is he not?
Yeah. He's just about 200 kilometers away from me. Not even.
Too bad. Cousin Doug, Fruitcake Tony. Unbelievable. Tough day, much love to you. If you had a tough day, you get extra love. Virtual hugs and everything. Michael B, he knows what I'm talking about. Keith H, he knows what I'm talking about. Jason Lindholm, what's up, buddy? Blackjack Guitar. All Dave, all night. I skipped around here. Ian's Guitar Shack. LPD Pedals. What's up, Lawrence? Doug Strong.
Yeah,
I know. Doug Strong's like, L&M, confusing Canadians for years.
Yeah.
I noticed that so many times in chats, and I laugh my ass off. Every time a Canadian sees you in the chat for the first time, hey, I love you're like, thanks. You're like, do you like me, or do you like a Canadian guitar company that sounds similar?
Yeah, that's due to CGS. First we had Lucas and Martin's Guitar Corner.
Right.
And yeah, he said, man, that's way too long. I can't type that in a chat. Shorten that thing. And yeah, so it became L&M Guitar Corner. And as an Austrian, I was not familiar with Long and McQuaid. So
It's okay. But hey,
Yeah.
if it means pulling in more Knucklehead viewers, why not?
Yeah.
They get it. I get it. Hey.
And once we realized this, we had already changed the name, and we thought, well, changing the name the third time within 2 weeks, I don't think we'll do this. So we stuck with it.
Eddie Van Haskell mentioning, if you've had a tough day, you get a free jar of moths. Sure. And that's why we love Eddie. Guitar Man 45 mentions, he says, my parents are from Old Country, Poland. Nice. Vin's RJ. Fruitcake Tony's digging the pants. All right. I shall. Yeah, we got the really good pajama pants on tonight, folks. Yeah, we went with the yellow flannel. Cautionary tales ensue. I could have put on jeans, but then Fruitcake Tony doesn't have anything to talk about because he's not here to talk guitars. Apparently, it's my leisure apparel.
I didn't use jeans even.
Sure.
Even with setting an alarm.
Love it. So tell us a little bit, if somebody was to tune into the L&M Guitar Channel show on any given episode, what's kind of a thumbnail idea of what they would expect?
They would expect, lately especially, a lot of wiring tutorials that I've made. Mm-hmm. I did the Jimmy Page wiring, I did the 50s wiring, so much for Gibson related things. Then I did the Esquire wiring for the Telecaster. I did the Baja wiring and also the Broadcaster wiring. Mm-hmm. And they will find quite a few mods I've done here. For example, have the interchangeable control plates with the respective wirings for my Telecaster.
I love that.
And with that, I can, switch the complete sound of the guitar within 1.5 minutes. We've measured it, that it takes me just to switch a control plate, and I have a completely different wiring.
You can't heat up a soldering iron that fast.
Yeah, it's not possible, and that's quite easy. We also did now pretty much the same on my Classic Vibe Strat, where we can just unscrew the I'm always saying control plate, the scratch plate or pick guard with the whole pickups, everything in it.
You, Martin, whatever. I have no idea what your average Martin calls it in Austria. So you be you. If it's a scratch plate, pick guard, control plate, you be you.
Yeah. And I was totally, when we did this video, I was totally stuck in the mindset of the Telecaster still and always called it control plate. Yeah,
I get it.
When I'm thinking about this interchangeable things, I'm still with the Tele. So
exactly.
Yeah,
I have a bunch more people tuning in. We have L&M Guitars, T. Ricky, Charmaine Taylor is here. And Charles 75N, he and I were talking because I have the Kramer project. See, same thing, on the go. And he's like, Martin there put up some good wiring videos. I'm like, yeah, I know. He's like, in fact, he put up all the wiring videos. I think he did. Yep. And he's, did you check this out? I said, no. He says, why? Because I'm planning on watching it for the Kramer build, and I didn't want to watch it and forget it. So I literally have videos of yours queued up for various ideas I have going forward. So, yeah.
Yeah. So
I watched a few of them, and they're well done. It's like you keep it simple enough that Charles can follow it. I can follow it.
And Charles is really good with such things. Charles, we have also a Skype group where we chat and also have video chats just like we have here, just in private. And he's a really patient guy. So he prepares all the things, he takes his time, and with that, that's half of it for pretty much anything, actually.
Yeah, that's true. That's right. And he was mentioning he really likes the buddy reviews.
Yeah, we have the buddy reviews where the idea is that either Lucas or I get the guitar of the other one, and he's giving the input why he has this guitar over the long term, why he hasn't sold it, if he thinks about selling it, why he hasn't, or if he will. And for me, it's the first impressions of the guitar when playing it, getting it in the hand. Each of those guitars we probably have played maximum of 15 minutes before. So tuning it up, strumming a few chords, noodling a bit just to see, okay, so we're not totally clueless.
Sure.
Yeah.
I get it.
Body reviews.
Those are fun. Those are fun. As I know, like, I can think of a few friends that have a few guitars that I really love. And, you know, I always, every time I see them, I'm like, so, you know, are you ready to sell this yet? No. Okay. 18 years later, you still, nope. Like, that's my number one. I'm like, I know, but I just wanted, just in case, but there's other guitars that I can think of a lot of other friends' guitars that I've never had a chance to play that I wanted to and check out,
Yeah.
So and that's great because it's extra gear to put out for content with an honest first reaction review. I dig it.
Yeah, and you get the long-term impression of someone who has it quite some time, and you have that new impression of it.
Sure.
That was the idea behind this. We also did a special episode with Reno. He had the honor to play my number one over here. That heavily modded 335, because I'm one of those crazy guys who's not even stopping at the Gibson when it comes to modding.
I see no problem with that. You be you. That's what the way I see it is. These are tools. Yeah. So make them your own. You can always change it back as long as you're not just blindly doing something you can't undo.
Yeah.
That's all I say. Like if you think about adding a third F hole, really think it out first. That's all I'm saying. Really think it out first.
Yeah, well, with that one, there are a few modifications there that are not reversible. For example, in original, it's a 2015 model. It only had 2 knobs, one volume, one tone pot, and now it has the Jimmy Page wiring in it. So I had holes drilled in it, but I let the shop do it already back then for normal wiring. And they messed up the wiring. Then afterwards, it worked perfectly. It played beautiful. But I had the problem that the middle position was a little bit strange, let's call it that way. It was almost an on-off thing, also with the volume. I didn't like that because I'm one of those guys who's, give me an amp, get it to the edge of breakup, and the rest I want to do with the controls. Much unlike you, who's not using the tone knob much.
Just making sure it's always all the way up.
Yeah, see? So that's the way I'm playing, and that's also with my pedal board. If you look at it, there's plenty of LPD pedals, and it's pretty much just this amp, this amp, this amp, this amp in a box.
I know. I'm the exact same way. Not currently all wired up, but because the 87 Deluxe covers a lot of territory for me.
Yeah, Lucas just got that one as well, and he just recently also got the 68 Deluxe.
Nice. And
Yeah,
now we're both waiting for the 74 Deluxe, which is on its way. I'm allowed to talk about that one. Not allowed to talk about the other ones yet. But there's more. Yeah, expect a thinner wallet this year. I'm just saying, because I went, what? Oh, and yeah. So that's where my Patreon money's going, hopefully.
Yeah. So that's pretty much what I'm doing. So this was
That's
really
very
not
cool.
usable for me, but it had an awesome neck sound, and I thought, if I change something up on it, do I lose something of that mojo, of that sound that I had on that guitar? And was really hesitant on switching this up. And once I decided, okay, it has to go, because it's really hard for me to play that way. And I like the sound, but it just limits me.
Sure.
And then I decided, okay, let's get it out. And then I've seen they've wired it in a really strange way, with the pickup being always just coil split, and wired out of phase. Then I was thinking, well, I just read the comment, Guitarman 45, no, I'm not modding the acoustic guitars. That's...
Here's an interesting. Joe Hervey mentioned. He says, with all these sub $200 guitars, how do they wire all the guitars? Is someone doing all the connections, or is it a pre-wired kit? I don't know. I don't know how they're able to do it so cheap. Like, if someone is hand wiring them.
I just recently. Well, it was not a €200 guitar. I've seen the classic vibe, for example, just lately when we did that video for the quick connector where you can switch that control plate, that pick guard. See, I'm still in that teleset mindset. I'm just more of a tele guy than a strat guy.
I will never hold that against you, Martin. You know that.
I know. So, yeah.
How you get my attention. If you ever notice me nodding off during a live stream, just say Telecaster. I'm like, what?
So, yeah, those were really bad soldering joints. I think if you do this with a machine and automated,
hey, Chad,
that would be better solder joints for certain. And I think that's why Gibson switched to these PCB boards. You can solder that automatically and way faster than you would with. I think if you have a wire to another, you're pretty much bound to use it manually. And the solder joints were really bad on that one, so I've switched out all the solder joints. I've remade all of them, and same.
What you're saying is it looked like I had made it in the factory, is what you're saying, because you've seen my videos. So
smeared it with a soldering iron. Yeah, so that was that. Also, at the same day, I fixed the push-pull pot for Lucas. His it was, I think, the PRSSE Custom 24. Also, hate to say it, but the solder joints were not good on that one. One even broke off when he brought the guitar to me. We had the problem that the hole for the pot was where you have the thread was too small. It was, I think, 8 millimeters or something, and the new push-pull pot had 10 millimeters. So we had to re-drill the hole for the pot, and we already soldered up everything, and he just placed it in. Everything was fine, and when we returned, when he came here to my place and we opened the control plate to the back plate to access the control cavity, we've seen that the loose pot ripped out a wire from somewhere else in that wiring, because the solder joint just broke off.
Right.
It was just, and this pot did not have much to go anywhere. It was just maybe rattling, something like this, and that was enough to break a solder joint loose. That shouldn't be the case.
No.
No. So yeah, I've seen quite a few bad solder jobs in the last few days, so I guess they are done manually from someone that has not had
no
much
machine
training
would
on
do
it.
it that bad.
No, certainly not, because if you're doing with a machine, you would have consistently problems through it, and you will always set up a machine that it would do it in somewhat a right way, I guess.
I get it.
Yeah, that's that.
Jason Lindholm says, my solder skills are disturbing. Even Darth Vader would force choke me. Me too.
Well,
I used to be able to solder. I was a great solderer 30 years ago, and I've just got progressively worse over the last 30 years.
We've just did a video for solder tips in 60 seconds, a short video. I think this is also something we're trying to make smaller, these shorts videos that get also in the short feed, where we do such things we can do within 60 seconds. We don't want to make just any short or anything like this. We want to make them have some purpose, really, in this way. For example, we are comparing the mini Strat that I'm having, that I bought for my daughter, the size with the Road 1 Strat, so with the real Strat, or the 339 with the 335, or I'm explaining how coil splitting works on a push-pull pot, just all these small things, that we can do.
Janice says a roll job she desoldered but never soldered. Yeah, I'm pretty good at that too, because that's where you just use all the heat. Just melt it all. Melt it all. That's how you get rid of it. Melt it all. Yes, exactly, Chad. Soldering is fun, but cold solder joints can be a bugger. Don't I know?
Yeah, it's...
Yeah, hey,
it's fairly easy.
You have to admit, in my latest soldering video with the GNL, I was actually heating up the component before just adding solder to her. You know, I was like, you know what? I know Martin's watching. I know Charles is watching. Scott Brockway.
I have to be honest. I did not have the time to watch it yet, the latest one, but I will do.
That's okay. Parts 3 and 4 aren't out until this week anyway. So
okay. Yeah, I had quite a few busy days lately, so yeah, I'm sorry, but I will catch up. I will chat you later.
Yeah. There's last week's guest, Charles Green, in the chat. That was a lot of fun.
Wow.
I think that was last week.
I can't top that for certain, man. That was, his stories are amazing.
They were pretty cool. Yes.
I can listen with today's for days, man.
Hey, Edwin Crane. We got all kinds of people joining in tonight. Very cool.
Also, thanks everyone for coming see me.
Yeah, and definitely, like I say, folks, definitely give his channel a check out. If you're watching on on a laptop or a desktop computer, there's right in the description. You can just click there, open it in a new tab, or mobile devices. If you got to dip out to subscribe and dip back in, that's fine. Martin will allow it, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Larry's been throwing the link here periodically. So definitely, folks.
Yeah, so I also heard or read a comment earlier on about how my practice with slap playing with the National is going on.
Yes.
Yeah, still needs a lot of practice. It's, for me, honestly, when I've started playing slide with that one, it's like learning a new instrument. Yeah,
it is in many ways.
In a way.
Yeah.
Just getting everything into tune is not the easiest task, to say the least.
But fun. Hey, Mark Dillon.
It's a lot of fun, and it gets you just into another mindset. You come back refreshed and play other things when you get back. Also, you mostly, thanks Ian, mostly you will use an open tuning, which on its own already gets you somewhat out of a rut when you're doing this. So I can totally recommend it for anyone.
I agree. Now, and the key is, like, if you're going to tune it to open G, try not to just play stones on a resonator for a while.
To be honest,
hey, thank you very much, Chad. Appreciate it, my friend.
The National, blackjack guitar, the National is 1937.
Wow.
There's a really cool story to this one.
Well, I'm willing to hear that.
Yeah. The thing is, I already thought that I've lost this guitar already. We were in a local guitar store checking out a few guitars, and yeah, I always wanted the resonator. Should I get it for a second?
Sure, why not? Very nice. Well, so she's mint. I can tell. It's mint.
Yeah, she's in great condition. See,
the fact it survived. That's the first. Like acoustic, a lot of acoustics don't last. So
yeah, but do you see that action? That is not high for a resonator.
No,
it's not high at all. It works perfect, and yeah. So I've seen that one in the store, and I thought, and I've asked, yeah, this one looks great. It plays great. What is it? And the store owners told me it's a 1938 National, and it is a 1938 model. But the serial number says it has been built already 1937, so it must have been from one of the very first for the next year.
Right, getting a head start on the next year's builds. Oh, excuse me.
And so, yeah, I didn't know that at the time. It was just a 1938. We come to that later, why 1937 is really special to me. Yeah, and I didn't dare ask for the price because, vintage guitars, usually this is out of my price range. And yeah, so I did not ask for the price and thought, well,
I was,
just
DC Rich. I'm thinking the same thing. I'm like, how did the National Resonator end up in a guitar shop in Austria? I'm like, I don't know. Did it come over during the Second World War?
I can tell you this as well.
Did it, or
I can tell you the story of this as well.
This is awesome. Hey, Jimmy Ray.
I got the story for that one as well, but it's not spectacular, to be honest. Unfortunately, I don't know what happened before it came to Austria. The owner bought it in the 70s when he was touring in the USA. Was a blues musician, has seen it in the US and bought it there, and
makes sense.
Actually didn't play it much since. So that's why it's in this great condition. It was always well maintained.
I was going to say that guitar in the 70s it's just an old guitar. Like it wouldn't be anything special per se because there was no vintage guitars. They were just old guitars.
Yeah, and not only that, the resonators were not popular anymore. Right. You had the electric guitar that came afterwards. That's why National also stopped producing, and yeah, I think they even went bankrupt at one point. Yeah, so I did not ask for the price because I thought, how would I be able to afford a 1937 guitar that's in this condition, so playable? And
yeah, like I just have no idea because I remember seeing those in guitar shops for years for like a couple $100. So I have no idea. Like, even if I walked in now, I would be pleasantly shocked if one was hanging in a shop and I'd be like, you want how much for that? Because I just have no idea.
Yeah, I've looked it up. They were going.
When did you get it?
October last year.
Oh, okay.
21, so it's fairly new.
Fairly new.
And yeah, I've been there in, I think, let it be July or something like this, June or July, and seen it. So, well, out of my price range, most certainly, because normally they go for 4 to 5K, something like this.
Really?
In this condition, yeah.
That's euro?
That's euro, yes.
Wow.
That's not something I
guess so.
Can afford.
Yeah, like, I'm just trying to think, because if it just, yeah, they just don't end up there. But yeah, like, I just could not justify paying more than, I don't know, 800? Like, for me, type thing. Like, but I get it. You know, it's like a classic American car, for instance. You just don't see them around as much as
but the reverb prices on such 30s nationals
right
range between 2K and 5K, something like this. And there are the Triolean. This is a Duolean. That's the cheaper model.
Sure.
And those, the ones I found from 1938, 1937 were around 4 to 5K, something like this. The Triolean go even up a little bit more. What I've researched after getting this guitar, actually. So fast forward, I've been there the next 2 weeks later, I think, with another buddy of mine, with Franz. Maybe you have also seen him. It's the guy that did the Jimmy Page wiring on his Sheraton. And yeah, then I've seen the tag sold on it. And so I went to the store owner and said, now I have to ask, how much did it go for? And he told me 2,500 euros. And I'm like, oh, well, that's something I could have afforded.
That's a more than fair price based off your research. More than fair.
Yeah. So, yeah. Fast forward 2 or 3 months later to September, October, something like this. And Lucas went there again, and the guitar is still in the store, still with the tag sold. And he asked the store owner, hey, what's with this guitar? Still here. I think you've sold it 3 months ago. And the store owner said, yeah, well, I don't know. If he's not picking it up in another month, I'm selling it to someone else. Lucas texted me, hey, Martin, Adi is selling this guitar to someone else in a month. And I said, well, tell him I take it if that month is over. And he told it to the store owner, and he turned to Lucas and said, if he comes to get it today, he'll get it for 2,300. I then just called my wife. Well, am I allowed to? I've asked before, obviously. Before I said, well, that one.
You know, Martin, I wouldn't be surprised if your wife knows way too much about that guitar long before you ever bought it, because you'd be like, yeah, it was there. She's like, I don't care. You're like, yeah, but it was there, and I don't care, Martin. Tell Lucas.
Pretty much like this. And so I got the second chance to buy it, and then I did some more research with the serial number and everything, and found out that it's a 1937. And now to the point why this makes this guitar instantly so much more special to me. It's the birth year of my late grandpa that died just 1 year earlier, and I had a really deep relationship with. So this guitar is the only guitar in my possession with a name.
Nice. Nice. That's awesome.
That's the story of that guitar.
And honestly, as long as it doesn't like collapse on itself, it's going to more than hold its value.
Yeah, it's
like if it hasn't fallen apart by now, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, let me see. It really plays great. It has.
So Martin, how is life with one kidney?
Well, I'm a software engineer, so I'm one of the more fortunate ones who can afford also a little bit more on guitars. And yeah, I spend it on guitars, but also within reason. This is the second most expensive guitar.
I don't see racks of guitars behind you, Martin.
No, it is.
Yeah, you don't go crazy with the gear.
It's that's what's on my wall, and 3 more over there.
Nice.
And 2 more in my office. Yeah. So
as you think to yourself, do I have any anywhere else? I've been there.
Yeah, I really have to think of this. I have. Yeah. Shall we go through what I have?
Why not?
Well, this one is also a really special guitar. Can you guess the age of that guitar?
I do not know, but it looks old and awesome, and something that I'm currently looking for is something I think along those lines, if I'm not mistaken.
It's a German traveling parlor guitar.
Ooh,
the strings are way up there, so it's not playable, unfortunately. You see
it needs work.
It needs a lot of work. Let it estimate what I need to put into this guitar to get it to work again. It's about 2,000 euros as well, from a really gifted luthier. So
exactly, like you want to give that to the right person to do.
Yeah, because it's also a special guitar. It's the one that I actually got from my other grandpa.
Mm-hmm.
It was his guitar. And wow. What's your guess? What's your guess for the age of that one?
1932?
Older.
Okay.
1911.
Wow. That's like
my
grandfather's age.
It's not. Yeah, Jimmy Ray was really close. I should have let the chat also guess a little bit more. Yeah, 1911, a German parlor guitar. No truss rod, nothing in it.
Right.
Yeah,
my Martin doesn't have a truss rod in it, so who needs truss rods?
Yeah, and that thing needs a neck reset, needs new bracings in it. But there are no cracks. Yeah, one small crack over here in the top, but other than that, the top is in fairly good condition.
Yeah, that'd be beautiful to restore.
And that needs some restore at some point.
No, that guitar, like, I wouldn't know anything about the maker of it. Would a 2,000 euro investment be worth for a guitar like that? It's like you'd have no problem putting 2,000 euro into, say, restoring a Martin.
Yeah,
but
if it would be in full playing condition, it would end up being worth, I think, 500 euros, something like this. So it would be.
So it's purely
solely for sentimental value, and I want to do this, but not at the time.
Sure.
So yeah,
that'd be something amazing to hand down to your kids.
Yeah, both this one as well.
Mm-hmm.
This one as well. This is also something I want to hand down to my kids. So. Yeah, speaking of handing down to my kids, Charles has already mentioned it in the chat. I have one that is not really my guitar. I'm gonna grab that one. Give me a second, please.
Sure. Ooh, excuse me. I agree, Jimmy Ray. It's very cool looking guitars. Well, yeah, that bridge though. Ooh. That's true, Edwin. They're the future, after all. What's up, Boner Jams? Sexy beast, you.
No, I don't have any 7-string guitars. I'm too much old school and bluesy in that way, and I'm struggling with the 6 strings enough, so I don't care with 7s.
I have to look it up. Funny enough, you mentioned that old school bluesy, because we had in our possession for a period of time in the 90s, I want to say it was a Gretsch 7-string.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it was interesting, to say the least. I didn't know how to play it. I didn't know what was going on, but I was like, and it was red and a hollow body and 7-string. And I think it was a Gretsch. I'm pretty sure it was a Gretsch, or it was very Gretsch looking.
Krena played also an 7-string chess box, I think, at Ardens Guitar, the shop also where I got the National from.
Nice.
So,
ooh,
maybe you're familiar with that guitar as well.
Yeah, it looks like one of those PRS things. I would be right.
But that one is the guitar kit I've built myself.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, holy crap. Look at that. Very nice.
So that's the guitar I've built for my son.
And that's a set neck and everything.
Yeah. I glued in the neck myself. It's set neck.
That's awesome, buddy.
All the electronics also.
Nice looking guitar.
With push-pulls, power split, and down here we have out of phase. I love out of phase. I have it on the 335 with the Jimmy Page wiring. I have it on the Baja wiring, on the Baja Telecaster as well. I have it on this guitar. And
fortunately, I like it because every time I wire humbuckers, I end up wiring them that way because I'm like, it's all honky. Oh, well, that works for me. And then just fiddle. That I do fiddle with the knobs then, Martin. I do fiddle with the knobs then.
Yeah. Then you have to.
Yep. Yeah. It's like, how come backing this one off adds volume? Because that's the way you wired it, dumbass. And that's okay. But it gets some really cool, and you actually get a variety of tones just by fiddling a little bit.
Yeah, and what I really like about it is you can thin out your tone immediately a lot, so you can get back into the mix and taking not up so much space in it.
That's
so true. That's immediately something where you can just going out the face and you're out of the way of the lead guitar player or whatever is going on. And if you need to get more oomph, switch it somewhere where you're not out of phase, or just to one pickup and you're immediately there. So the kit, what's left from the kit is just the wood pretty much. Nothing else. The bridge is a Tone Pros bridge over here. The humbuckers are Classic 57 Plus and Classic 57. The pots are the Marcia push-pull pots, Switchcraft switch and output jack. Clusen locking tuner over here. The nut is a bone nut. It is a rosewood imitation fretboard, so it's not. The kit comes from China. I'm not sure if they just say it's imitation or,
who knows?
Imitation.
Who knows? It's some form of wood.
Yeah, it's some form of wood, but it looks a lot like rosewood. And I wouldn't bet against it, to be honest. It plays, feels everything. It behaves like rosewood when you put oil on it. Yeah, I think they used rosewood, and because this was during the time where CITES forbid rosewood on guitars without extra steps.
I'm just saying, it sounds like an episode of The Simpsons where, it's like a factory making rosewood and its boxes labeled rosewood. They're like, we're not allowed to ship rosewood, so they just have a not stamp. Just boom, not rosewood, not rosewood.
Something like this. When I got it, I just thought of this. It looks so, and everything looks so much like rosewood. It smells like rosewood, tastes like rosewood. What else should it be? It's pretty much like this.
Honest.
Yeah, and I played it quite a bit, and the deal was this. My son, when he was 6 years ago already, I think, almost 6 years ago, my son was watching me scrolling through guitars on my phone, and he came over my shoulder and said, I want this guitar. I want such guitar. And I was looking back at him. It was a green PRS. I said, well, if you're old enough and can play, I will get you one of these guitars. And then he told me, well, but you keep your word. And I said, yeah, sure. And then after that, I clicked on the picture, and it was a private stock PRS. Oh my goodness! What did I get myself into now? And then I was already thinking about doing a kit guitar, and started then thinking, well, would it be okay if I built myself? I was looking then for PRS kit guitars, and I found this kit fairly affordable on guitarkitworks.com. And yeah, just bought that one after that and asked my son, is it okay if I build you this guitar? And he said, yeah, that's fine for me. And I said, well, you will get your green PRS guitar, and I will make it as good as I can. And yeah, then I've started to make this guitar. Thought, well, if I make something for my son, it should be pretty much the best thing I can make with my tools and everything. And yeah, built everything, and all good until almost a year ago, something like this. And the deal is, as long as he's not playing guitar, it's in my possession. So for now, it's still my guitar. And then a year ago, the frets were starting to give in. And I thought, come on, I haven't played this guitar all that much. I don't want my son to have to do fret leveling, let's say, every year if he's really playing a lot, if he starts to play. So I have decided to go with stainless steel frets. And then I've ordered a lot of tools from StewMac and wanted to start making all this also with stainless steel frets. And just the file to everything worked really good up until to the point where I had to file the fret ends.
Right.
The file that I had for this was not sufficient. I had no chance to file them down within any meaningful time. I used the fret end dressing file afterwards. That was the best thing I had at home. The normal files I was losing teeth of the files, and the frets were extremely hard that I got from StewMac. So that's usually a good thing. But in this case, my tools were just not up to make it.
Sure.
And then I got so frustrated that I said, well, put everything of this away and let someone else do it. And while we're at it, I go to Thomann and let do a plaque job on it. So I let them do the stainless steel installation with the plaque job, and now this thing is just a dream to play. It was Krener's favorite guitar when he was visiting us with the neck. It's a true oil finish, so you feel a lot of the wood. So it feels more like waxed wood than it does with actual lacquer. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it feels a lot more like wood than any other guitar I'm having here.
Very cool.
With the exception maybe of the Road Worn Strat.
That makes sense. I get it. It's awesome.
So yeah, that's so much for this guitar.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I had to promise my daughter, obviously, to make the same for her.
Now, yeah, everyone should be checking out the David Nesdahl channel as well. You know, he and I do a show, Guitar Town Hall, on Thursday night, and those missed a doozy last Thursday if you weren't watching. He's like, anyone drop any guitars tonight? Because he had a $6,000 custom shop Les Paul that he dropped on air.
Ooh.
Yeah, that was. And guess what? It was fine. It was absolutely fine. That was the scary. I believe. How did you? I guess it kind of hit his waste paper basket on the way down, and he's lucky. He got very, very, very lucky.
Yeah. My daughter tipped over my Epi Les Paul Custom Pro that I had, and that one didn't make it.
It didn't make it. No.
I had the neck fixed then, and yeah, sewed it on afterwards. A couple of months later, I've sewed it on, and yeah, that's also when I got the 335. My number one. Yeah, but I had to promise the same thing for my daughter. I don't have the kit made yet, but.
Mm-hmm. Oh.
I am. Yeah, some will say burn him on the stake with that configuration. But I love birds. I have this from my father, who studied ornithology at the university, and yeah, so that is why I love the PRS bird inlays. And yeah, I wanted the Gibson headstock on that one, and yeah, this will be what is it? A Purple Burst 335.
Ooh, that's gonna look nice.
Yeah,
I look forward to seeing the outcome of that.
Yeah, I've also got some scrap wood with it, so I can test how it looks when I'm applying the dye. So yeah.
Good idea. Good idea.
So that was the thing that I've haggled with them. Said, well, I'm certain you have a lot of scrap veneer and scrap wood. Give me a bunch so I can test the colors, because this one needs to be special as well. Needs to work out, and that I need to try. Yeah. So, which one next?
Let's see here. So all kinds of they talk to each other, you know, wishing their condolences to Dave, telling him how lucky he was. Let's see. John asked how the burgers were tonight. I didn't end up making burgers because Dad apparently has kidney stones, so he didn't want a hamburger tonight. So he had a plate of French fries, and he was happy with that. And I made him some sandwiches earlier in the day, so I was like, okay. I made hot dogs for myself because they were there and it was easy. And then we're doing the show. So there we go. And thanks again, Terry, for putting the link to Martin's channel in the chat.
Thanks a lot, Terry. Yeah. So that's another really special guitar that I'm having here. Yeah.
That'll definitely be cool. I dig that. And excuse me. So tell me about your number one. So it's got Jimmy Page wiring. What were the pickups in it?
Also classic 57s and classic 57 plus.
So that's apparently you like those pickups.
I love those pickups.
Nice.
And I think they really work well coil split.
Mm-hmm.
Which is a big plus in my book because, the guy that wired it up afterwards with the 4 knobs, place this a little bit more down so it's easier for me to hold it and show it. It's a 2015 studio model.
Mm-hmm.
The binding is not real. I always I love the black binding, but the binding is not real. It's just painted on.
I like it though.
And
the black binding does look cool. I'm not gonna lie. I really like the black binding. That's cool.
Yeah. It doesn't really make a difference if it's now real binding or not. For anyone seeing it, it looks like binding, and yeah. So, but just as an information, it's not real binding. Yeah, let's start over here. I've also installed the clues and locking tuners.
And hello to Matthew Stewart. Yeah.
And
other left. What's up, buddy?
Yeah, it's not a cherry red. It's a wine red. They called it.
I like it.
But it looks a lot like the vintage cherry, and this one has a really. I love that plain top on it. I don't know. I'm not sure if it can show that there's a lot of grain going on in there.
What's up, PTM Guitars?
Yeah.
Black on red classic, exactly.
Yeah. And
but you didn't go crazy by completely blacking it out or anything like that either.
No, I just left that thing like it is. Yeah. Pretty much. The rest is nickel and the original hardware on it. The nut is the original plastic nut. It works absolutely fine. I have never had problems with it, so why change anything?
Great.
It stays in tune really well. I don't have problems with tuning stability pretty much ever, except if I'm coming and going from Lucas in the winter time when I'm going outside to minus 10 degrees or something like this, and
I can relate
to 15. So yeah, which guitar doesn't have problems with this?
Yeah. Question: what kind of strings are you using on it?
I'm using I'm using mostly 11s.
Okay. I was gonna say, a lot of people seem to like 11s on their 335s.
It's not only on the 335s. I have it on many guitars. I have it on the Road Worn as well.
You are Richie. Jesus. Modding guitars, running 11s on everything. Yep. Just like Richie. No wonder we get along so well, Martin. No wonder.
Yes.
Yeah, Guitar Man 45. I was thinking, I wonder if we could find a pickguard where the middle ply was red instead of white.
That would have been cool, but I did not find anything like this. So yeah,
you might be able to cheat with a red Sharpie.
Yeah, maybe.
Steady hand.
Yeah, I bought the pickguard also afterwards and installed the pickguard myself. It did not have come with pickguard, the studio model. Yeah, and then obviously the wiring. Yeah, the Jimmy Page wiring.
And now it has all the wiring options.
we have 21 possible sounds that we can get out of.
Of course we do, Martin. Of course we do.
So we have neck that can be normal, core split. Then the middle position with the combination of either one, bridge, neck, core split, both, however you want it. Then you could place them out of phase. Also with all the combinations of one being core split or not. Then you have the series option, which makes pretty much an ultimate humbucker with 3 or 4 cores. Again, with the combination how you want it. You can also put them out of phase again. And then finally you have the bridge pickup that can also be core split. So
you got that, Charles? That's all the wiring options.
It's pretty much all the things you can and
that's awesome.
Want on it. So it can sound very different. We have a body review where Krina is going through a lot of those. If you want, I can plug it in. I have the Spark next to me that is also wired up. So
yeah, you can go through a few combinations and then I shall comment away. Carl finally decided to put down his cold snack and join in the conversation in the chat, I noticed. Great. Yep. Man of many words, that Charles 75N. Well, it's all the options, Brad. Like, what? Excuse me. What more would you need? I'm thinking, man.
Which options would you guys like to hear? Or should I do a selection? Because I'll tell you afterwards what I've...
See how many people remember what can, because we can see their what position you're in and what you're pulling on and what you're pushing on and stuff. So, and you can still hear me the whole time. So,
yep. So, place it down. I need to switch now the mic, and you won't hear me afterwards, hopefully.
So yeah, we even tested this, folks, before going live. This is professionalism. Even I know. I'm confused too, folks. Just play along. Oh, that sounds nice. Yes, you did, Doug. Yes, you did. See you, Dave. I'll see you Thursday night. Spanky. I dig that. That's a lot of tone difference. Nice. Don't forget to leave a thumbs up, folks. Appreciate it. Martin playing his heart out here, showing off all the positions and selections. Hey. Hearing a lot of different tones is what I'm saying, folks. Martin somehow managed to put a whole pedal board right there inside this guitar. Brad. Sounds good.
So yeah, that's a variety, and we're not even half through.
That's pretty cool, man. That's pretty cool.
So yeah, but that were the main settings of the guitar that I'm using. We had the outer phase with both humbuckers. We had the outer phase in series, which gives this extremely nasal, quacky tone that we had in between. And yeah, just alone the coil split, I think, sounds. It just is. It gets it a little brighter and clearer.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
And yeah,
adds a little more chime to it.
More chime, a little bit more spank to it.
Sure.
And yeah, that's why this is also my number one. I think it can do anything. And you've also heard that that series where both humbuckers are full engaged, where you have suddenly, instead of the somewhat 8K, you have 16K.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much through it, and which gives it a lot more strength.
Sure.
It's just with the push-pull of a knob.
I like it. That's cool. Now, oh man, now I got a wire. Oh man, that's.
We have a tutorial for this on our.
Yeah, I know you got the tutorial. Yeah, I know. Oh man, that's gonna be a lot of burnt fingers and cursing and. Yeah, I was already flirting with Charles with the idea on that. When it comes to wiring, I was literally going to have guitar on the bench, you playing on the laptop right there, and I can go watch, pause, do it.
That's the idea of these tutorials. They are just built for that. We have timestamps there for each step, separated in separate steps. So what to do after each other. It's really step for step. Go to one, and if you want to stop it, just stop it. You can revisit just that step.
See, now Zach's laughing. Now, Zach, I know you're local, and no, I will not wire one of your guitars for you in that manner. No.
Yeah.
No.
And the thing with the Jimmy Page wiring is there is a lot to wire.
There's a lot, exactly. You use all the wires.
And
somehow it's I pity the person that had to put that all through that F-hole. And...
You see, that's the thing you want to have. You don't want to see anything through the F-hole. And
I just noticed you don't have the jack on the front either. It's down underneath.
No, that's just like on a 339, for example.
Yeah.
It's down there. That's also with the studio
I hate
a little bit
jacks
special.
on the front of guitars. I hate that.
I don't mind. It's fine either way. So, yeah, it works.
Not when you step on cables like I do. It's not good. Even if I got them yanked around straps and no, it's just I shudder just looking at them. I don't think I own a guitar with one for that reason. Not yet, anyway. If I have to, I will. But. Scott Brockway doesn't rock a Paul because he just doesn't like them. Well, that's fine. That's more for the rest of us.
Yeah, that's totally fine. On that Les Paul shaped object that I'm having, it's not a Les Paul. It's Harley Benton ST550. I've placed the 50s wiring on it.
Nice.
Yeah. With the tone riders. Yeah, so that is my main guitar. I think everyone can get why. No.
I get it. Yeah, that's a very nice guitar, and based off what you like to noodle around with, it makes a lot of sense. And those guitars, it's funny. It's like those and Telecasters, I swear, are the two most misunderstood guitars in music. Like they can cover so much ground.
Yeah, especially if you wire it up like this. I mean, yeah, I can sound almost like a Telecaster if I want, with it, with a little twist on a knob, and yeah, and it gets. I think I really like the core split with the classic 57s. That's something that really blew my mind, to be honest, because the guy that wired it up initially, as mentioned, had it always in core split, and I liked that sound. And when I found out that it was core split, I decided to go with the Jimmy Page wiring for it, and because I wanted the full real 335 wiring and wanted to get back to the tone that I like. So yeah,
makes sense. Well, folks, we'll go for about another 15 minutes here. I don't want to keep Martin up all night, but and I even offered when we were talking. I said, we can try doing the show earlier in the day. He's like, no, the show goes on at your time. That's the way it works.
Yeah. Sure.
I'm up half the time anyways, which, true. We see in the chat, and I'm just like, yeoman effort every time, buddy. Every time you tune in live, I am shocked and awed.
Anytime, Ben. Anytime, yeah.
Love it.
If I can manage the time, I will try to catch it each and every time. And if I don't catch it, I'll watch it on replay the next day. Or watch it is the wrong word. I listen to it while working. I have it in the background listening to it. And
a couple of times you're probably like, what? Really? Really?
Something like this, yeah.
Snickering to yourself while you get on with your... Yeah, I get it. Yeah. Not that I've ever done that watching one of your videos. Nope. Never. No. So, and if we did miss any of your comments or questions, folks, ask them now. We'll get them in. And I'm just going to see here. Scott's more of an Explorer guy for Gibsons. Nothing wrong with that. I'd like to try one for a while. Like, I really got to play one. Because I think, I played them sitting down, but I'd like to stand up and play one. And it's something I'd like to spend some time with.
I've played an Explorer type guitar from another company. I don't remember. It was a boutique guitar build, but I didn't like it much actually. It just didn't feel right. But it could. I don't wanna judge it there because first of all, it was not an original one. And if something is made probably to someone else's specs specifically, it's totally fine. If you don't like it, that doesn't mean the guitar is bad.
Mm-hmm.
That's
the way I am with a lot of guitars, and that's fine. Leaves more for others. That's the way I see it.
Yes. See, for example, I have a guitar I have a love-hate relationship with, and I love it for that matter, because it just forces me to play different.
Sure.
And it puts me out of my comfort zone. That's why I'm having it.
Me with my Kramer.
The Road one. I'm struggling with the 7.25-inch radius. Because when I mostly play classical bar chords when I'm playing bar chords, and for some reason when I do this like this, my joints align up perfectly that one string is never pressed properly. I can do it however I want. I just can't get all the strings to ring properly in this case. So I really have to do that thump around Jimi Hendrix style grip on that one, and have to force myself to play like this. And this is it's a challenge in some way. So it's not the guitar.
I can only play Strats sitting down. Sitting down, I'm fine. Standing up with them, I'm hitting that volume knob all the time, because my guitar isn't positioned the same sitting down or standing up, which some people say you have it similar, but I don't play my guitar all up here when I'm standing up. I like it down low.
I have it with the strap just that way. It's when I'm having it here.
Yeah, I'd be wearing it much lower.
Yeah. And half of the time I'm also playing in classical position, so it's really exactly the same.
Well, that makes sense.
So
John says rookie.
Yeah. So that's my love-hate relationship with that guitar. I love it for that it puts me out of my comfort zone, but it's not the one certainly not the one I will grab when I come home. I'm tired and I just want to noodle and have it easy going, because this is not easy going for me, because I have to think, how do I play this? How do I want to play this? And it's a practice tool in that sense, but inspires me also to play different then, which is a good thing, and that's why I keep it. Exactly. And it's not that the guitar is bad playing in any way. It's just I have to change myself for this, and that's a good thing.
Yeah, that is something. It has a twang. He says, grab a nice Warmoth neck for it. You could get something with a flatter radius. Yeah, but
that's just the thing that I don't want to do. It's just I want I specifically want to challenge myself with this guitar. It's just that thing that I have to play different that I want, so
I love
can improve on that
radius myself. Like, people always say about choking out notes and stuff. I don't have that problem.
No, I don't have that problem either.
I can bend, I go a full step. I don't need to go more than a full step.
Yeah.
And when bending a note. Host 20 says 9.5 feels so much better. Yeah. Modern fretboard radius on a Fender. No, I don't mind it. I have Tellies with 9.5. I have Tellies with 7.25. I honestly, I don't notice a big difference. I play them the same regardless. I don't know. I think I play them more.
I notice
the frets are different more than anything else. I notice more difference in frets than ever fretboard radius, I find. Fret size is a huge thing with me.
That's also the thing. The road worn, even though it says tall narrow or something like this. No, vintage tall. Vintage tall. I don't see where anything of this is tall. I have medium jumbos pretty much everywhere, and that thing is so much smaller in any dimension than all the other frets that I'm having. So it's
well, I think vintage is considered a narrower fret to start with, and then tall is basically we're not going to really crown them much. So it's basically after crowning a medium jumbo, it's about the same height. Where I'm like, can you get rid of like half that fret for me? And I have no need for frets. I need just enough that I can get a note to fret out, and make a note. Beyond that, I'm just bending it out of tune.
My favorite guitar for riffs. Probably I would go with that one or that one. Either one of those.
John DeShane says 6100s for me. I don't know what the numbers mean. It's like trying to teach me the cage system. It doesn't work. Frets, I like literally someone has to show me the frets. I'm like, those ones. And they'll say, oh, it's this number. I'm like, oh, da 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 da. And as soon as I walk out of the store, I don't know what the numbers mean anymore. I just like, these are the ones I like.
I have the same thing. If I need this, I'm looking it up.
Yeah.
As big as
they get. All right, well, thanks. I knew, I'm like, aren't those like jumbos? I don't know. So, because I don't know what the numbers represent. I wish the numbers represented the actual height or something as well as the width. Like 2 digits. The first 2 digits is the millimeter height, and then the next 2 digits could be the millimeter width. Can we do that?
That would make so much sense.
It would.
Yeah, but
because then I can just go, what are the smallest height and width? Perfect. Put those on. They're like, but this is basically a high E string. Yep. Lay it in there.
Yeah. It's just like with Ibanez. They and their guitar number system.
It's a VIN code like a car. Like I understand. Like as long as it does all make sense in that way, I get it, and God love them for doing it. But yeah, at some point I was like, what? Yeah, I don't understand that.
But then again, this guitar was named after the price it was sold. So, I mean,
yeah, exactly.
It's a 335 because we charged $335 for it.
Hey, Gary. They name coin cell batteries that way, as they should. Thank you, Gary. See now. I never knew that. Thank you for that comment. I just bought batteries the other day, and that explains a lot. Yep. Yep. Okay.
Yeah, so.
Yeah, I can get away with wider frets octopus ears. Just keep the height of them down. I could care less how wide they are, just as long as they're not high.
I like them if they're,
I was shocked
a little
at the
bit.
GNL that I had in the other day. I was like, the flat space on the top of those frets was wider than a lot of frets on some of my guitars. But it's like, are you sure you don't want these crowned? He's like, no. I was like, really? There's no crown to these files. I was like, I know. He's like, you're not the first guy who's worked on this guitar that's offered to crown these files. I bet. I'm like, how? The intonation's just a relative thing with you, isn't it? It's like, yep. All right.
Yeah, why not?
Yep.
Yeah.
Thank you, Terry. Yes, and if you haven't already, please check out Martin's channel, the L&M Guitar Corner, featuring Lucas and Martin, and all kinds of stuff on there, from demos to some like demo/reviews, we'll say it, to informational videos. So it's kind of a hodgepodge of things. Where have I seen that before on the channel? Next thing you know, you're going to be doing soda pop reviews.
No. I won't. I promise. No, that's not my kind of thing.
That'd be really interesting with the European Union, because you're like, and out of Slovenia we have, like, what is this? And you're like,
I could do whiskey if you want.
There you go.
Yeah.
I know a few people in the chat would love that.
Yeah. I've
I get it.
quite a few Scottish whiskey. That's my thing.
Nothing wrong with that.
Next to guitars.
Mm-hmm.
Mostly single casks. So yeah, and cask strength. So right from the barrel.
Mm-hmm. Nothing wrong with that. I drank whiskey for a number of years. Being a Canadian, I kind of like my Canadian rye whiskey. I kind of lean towards that. I think I've tried pretty much all of them at one time or another in Canada.
Hopefully not at the same time.
There was a time, it was one of those things where if I went out somewhere, if I had 3 beers, I was pretty drunk, but for some reason I could have 15 ryes. So I was like,
that's
we're going to go
with me as well.
Yeah.
I don't know. The thing also is, with whiskey, I don't drink them fast at all. Obviously, it's something I have in my glass. I'm smelling it for half an hour, and with different whiskeys, they change over time. So, yeah, I want to give them this time to change and develop. And like this, yeah, I'm drinking probably. When I'm drinking, also only in company, never alone. And yeah, then it's
that's one of the reasons I stopped drinking, because I realized I was only drinking on air, and I was just like, I'm just buying alcohol for during live shows, so why don't I just not? And that freed up some budget.
Sure. Yeah, and then it's.
Okay, BC, did you have to like legitimately look up Guelph, Ontario just for an Ontario reference? Because that's brilliant. You're loading in Guelph. Love it. The wire I like is actually called Vintage Fender. Thank you, Scott. Well, that makes sense, because that's what it's on. Excuse me. And that's where I learned to love it. Oh, you've actually been to Guelph. Well, you have my condolences, my friend. Wow. Let's see here. Do we have any...
Yeah, with the fret photos. Yeah, that's pretty much what I did on this guitar until I decided to, okay, it needs stainless steel frets. Because the ones that came with the kit, they were really soft metal. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's glorified solder on some of them, I swear.
Yeah.
I can't remember. Somebody brought a guitar over. Is he in the chat tonight? No. Good. He's like, look at these frets. Like, I haven't been playing all that much. They're starting to dent up. I'm like, yeah. It's like, why is that? I'm like, because it's crappy fret material. He's like, are you sure? I was like, yes, because I've done fretwork on this guitar when it was in for a setup previously, and it was one of those, normally you'd take 3 or 4 passes to round off a fret, and it was like, whoa. Yeah, well, that's done. All right. Okay, no pressure. Yeah, just let the weight of the file do the work. Okay. Yeah, they are not using quality fret wire these days, folks, in a lot of guitars.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I think this is
it's that reluctant look. You're like, no, I don't want dented frets after a year of playing.
Yeah, I think that's something where they really cut costs because they don't need the tools to change this much.
Mm-hmm.
Because where else do you need strong tools that really get on metal and have to grind something other than the frets when you're working on a guitar?
Mm-hmm. Exactly, so, Dave. Those frets will round off just by looking at them. I believe it. Yeah, and if they start to sprout, you can just push them back in.
Press them together.
Yeah. Just mush them back in. It's just mushy frets. Don't worry about it. It's like sap. It runs at certain times a year.
Round them with the soldering iron. Yeah.
Yeah, what you're going to want to do is heat them up with soldering iron real good. nice slot screwdriver and just ease them back in again. Oh, I wonder if I made that video. The comments like, what is this? And YouTube is like, we are not promoting this. And just try to make it look as legitimate as possible. Yeah, I wonder if somebody, I don't know. With no special effects, of course. You don't make frets out of solder, but just give the illusion. I don't know.
Edwin Crane, speaking of copper frets, I have brass frets on that old parlor guitar.
Oh, nice.
That's what they used back then on this guitar.
I have a brass nut in one of my Telecasters. And I'll only ever have one brass nut probably in my Telecasters because I didn't install it. Rich installed it for me. And after the hours of removing material, because he didn't have power tools, so by hand.
Oh.
He was just, with sandpaper over the fretboard to keep that radius and just hours and hours. And he just looks at me. I will never do another brass nut again. He's like, how's the nut action? I'm like, it's basically factory. I like it lower. He goes, well, then you can take it out and lower it some more.
Well, Scott, I don't think it's naval brass because the frets are square and low.
Yeah, that sounds more like just affordable and available.
Yeah,
aluminum frets, right? Yeah, they wouldn't last long. Well, on that note, with frets, do you have any parting words, my friend? I had a wonderful time tonight, I must say, and if the insomnia continues, we should definitely do it again down the road. I'm going to say
I would be all up for that. Thanks a lot again for inviting me. Thanks everyone in the chat for tuning in and keeping up with me. So yeah.
Well,
if you're interested in some things, Terry posted the channel a couple of times already. You can also request things that we should do and try. I'm also up for other tutorials and seeing what is within my reach to modify on a guitar. That I don't have to spend all too much on to maybe do this. If you want to see something in particular that we're having, just tell it. I'm happy to help wherever I can, and that's it. Also Lucas, but he just thanks a lot, Edwin. Lucas just got his wife got his second child, and so he needs every sleep he can get. That's why he was not on today.
Oh, good. Yeah, maybe, I can't guarantee it. Maybe next time we'll have both of you. We shall see. You never know.
Maybe.
But that's fine.
Yeah.
And this has definitely been fun. And thanks again, everybody that has subbed to Martin over the course of the evening.
Thanks a lot. John, I cannot. I will not put down the pants, but I can do the jacket.
Oh, and he's got the shirt too. Look at that. Look at that. Nice. I have the hat that matches that right back there.
I have somewhere. Yeah.
I have the
this one.
Yeah,
tone toque and the other hat.
Nice. I have that logo on the hat as well over there.
I have that one also on the hat, but I just don't see it right now.
Yes, John, I can give a Tom update. We did briefly see Tom in Pete Thorne's chat today. And then I was talking with him afterwards briefly before we went live tonight. He may be lurking. I'm not sure. He's still quite sore, definitely. And it looks like he's going to lose his fingertip. on his left hand. So he's going to have to figure that out, work around for that. I don't know. It's your index finger. You only use that for the root notes, and root notes are the bass player's job. So don't worry about it. Or just play 7 1/4 and wrap the thumb around. That works. And so,
as
definitely,
you mentioned it, with the root note, when I'm playing in the rehearsal room, I'm playing through by JTM, and those things have bass like crazy. You have to turn it all the way down. With the 335, I'm not allowed to play either the E or the A string, or my bass player is getting crazy because I'm getting in his way.
I like it. Frees you up to do other stuff. I love it. So, yes, so definitely positive vibes for Tom. And thanks everybody that tuned in tonight. Of course, hold the line, Martin, while we wrap things up. Shout out to Mod Squad for helping out tonight. Thanks as always. Channel members, shout out. And tomorrow night, Canucks Guitars live Q&A with Terry and myself. And then NAS Canucks Tuesday. And then the ASAT was in for a simple setup, Martin, and a kill switch install. It was supposed to be one video. So this week will be parts 3 and 4. Yep. So that's coming up this week, folks. So definitely in Guitar Town Hall Thursday night, we have Paige Davidson from Well Strung Guitars coming on to talk vintage gear. Like, I think they have like a dozen 59 Les Pauls in their store or something like that.
Definitely out of my price range.
Oh yeah. Like, they'll just laugh and lock the door if they see me walking up. That's a given. But Joe Bonamassa apparently shops there, and Dave was hanging out with Marky Ramone last week or the week before or something. I'm like, you were hanging out with a Ramone? He's like, yeah. I'm like, that's cool. He's like, you weren't that excited about me hanging out with Joe Bonamassa. I said, because he's not a Ramone. Oh, sorry. Joe's a hell of a blues player and all, but he's not a fucking Ramone. Just saying. And then, yes, 1 week from tonight, we have Hit Metalworks coming on. The West Coast hippie himself. The other Southern West Coast hippie, I suppose, a metalhead hippie who's just norther and West Coast. So, yeah, we'll go with that. I don't know. And I suppose I should tee up the ending. So, as always, folks, hold those doors open. Let Doug's wife in ahead of you in traffic. Do good things because she's real. Yep. And be good to each other. Be well. Happy tone chasing. And, if you have a problem, I'm saying it right now, with the wiring of a guitar, you say, hey, do I know a fella? You do. You know this guy. Check out his work. He knows what he's talking about. It's easy to follow. Dale Palmer at the end. Han 36 solo at the end as well. Nice.
Thanks, guys.
Appreciate it, one and all. And, yeah. Whoops, that's the wrong button. What he said. Don't litter.